You can't quite see the breath, but it's 6 degrees Celsius today. Anyways, I was up digging around in the barn this morning, and I found a scrap piece of steel that's going to be perfect. Building a stand for my forge right now. The problem is it's galvanized. This was a piece of a baggage conveyor, called it a high side. Oh, another spider, my goodness. If worse comes to worse, I could just grind this coating off. Alright guys, so it's been some time since I've welded anything that's been galvanized or cut through it, but it is very, very dangerous. One thing you're going to likely see as I'm cutting through here, at least it happens when you weld, I don't know if I've ever plasma cut galvanized before, but it's almost like a real fine spider web that kind of comes off. It's this white stuff. I guarantee there's going to be a white stain along here, and what can happen is if you don't protect yourself when you're working with this stuff, cutting it, welding it, you can get what they call zinc chills, and I've had them, and they're terrible. It's kind of like a really extreme fever. I remember I got them, I was working in Vancouver, the airport, and I went back to the hotel, and I was feeling sick, and I was shivering, and I had a fever, and I'm sitting there in the hot bath in the hotel room, just like crying, curled up like a little baby. It wasn't a fun experience, and apparently, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but once you get them once, you're way more susceptible to getting them in the future. So always protect yourself, a good high quality respirator if you have to work with this stuff. Ideally, leave it alone. If it's a galvanized part, use it as a galvanized part, but this is scrap, this is expensive steel, and I need a topper for my forge stand. The propane tank will go underneath the forge stand, so I just wanna make sure I've got something on top, and I'm probably gonna actually take this outside and actually grind all this galvanizing off of it. Anyways, let's cut this sucker down. I should check that this was cut square. Pretty good. This is what we'll cut it with. Our little plasma cutter from Princess Auto, who is sponsoring this video. Thank you so much, Princess Auto. The other night, whoa, easy now. The other night, my dad was working on a project for his hangar, and he was gonna use an angle grinder for a whole bunch of stuff. And I said, I got a plasma cutter. He was like this, you do? And I'm like, yeah. I remember I was working in this exact shop when it was a company and there's a crew, and the first time we ever saw a plasma cutter was in here, and we were all like, what on earth? And it was, it's actually up in the barn, that one. Big, huge unit, very expensive. And you know, it's kind of crazy to think that this is that thing. And I have one, and these things are becoming so accessible. Even the fact guys can get plasma tables in their garages now. It's so crazy. Anyways, I'll get this set where we want it. We're gonna finish the cuts off with an angle grinder, I believe. But we may as well do the lion's share with this squirrely bird. It's good. Beauty. That is not bad at all. We're just gonna have to trim this lip off right here. Look at that. Hopefully the teeth are still in there. So obviously this isn't something I'm going to forge, but you can see the length of it. Heat up that end if I want. Heat up the whole thing. And it's supported. So that's cool. There it is. Mobile forging cart. Oh, well, there it is. Super happy to have this project done. I'm gonna see after running it for a bit how hot this gets. And if it gets really, really hot, I might end up taking this off, grinding all the galvanized, but it's worth just seeing because I don't know if it really gets that hot underneath. Anyways, I'm stoked to have this. I've been wanting to do forging since I've been out in the new shop. I haven't been able to because it's been upstairs with all the junk, but another one down. I want to thank today's sponsor, Princess Auto. The forge came from Princess Auto, the wheels came from Princess Auto, the steel came from Princess Auto, and some of the tools I use. So thank you, Princess Auto. Really nice to have a well-equipped shop when we're doing stuff like this. And I'm really noticing that I feel like things are pretty much set up. You know, I can kind of build anything I want. One project I do want to do is get my chop saw onto a stand so that I'm not on the ground. I used to put it on the workbench there, but then that just gets filthy, so I just put this to keep the little pieces of metal from going underneath there. And this is a lot easier to clean up rather than having to clean up and vacuum around everything on the workbench. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and have a fantastic day. Cheers.